Good morning, good day, good afternoon, whatever it is, wherever you are, welcome. Welcome to the Foothill Center for Spiritual Living in Auburn, California. I am Reverend Suzanne Grace Rolle, and I am a minister, chaplain, and spiritual practitioner here at the beautiful Foothill Center for Spiritual Living. And we have a full audience today. Hi, everybody. Well, they're not really in the seats, you see. That's why we're doing virtual. And you know, I looked up, and we've been doing this since March 15th. That was our first Facebook Live. Wow, so we've stuck with it for that long, and you have too, and I'm so glad you're here today. The good thing about being virtual is that people from all over the country, all over the world can watch us and enjoy this amazing celebration. We have Diana Blaze with us today doing live music. We have Jess on helping us run sound. And we don't have a practitioner. So I guess I will also be the practitioner and minister today. Oh boy, I get to wear two hats. So I'm so glad you're here. We're going to start with a song. So if you're able, I invite you to stand up and sing along.
This first one is a Karen Drucker song called Thank You for This Day. Thank you, let's say thank you. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. My friends, thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My help, thank you for my help, Spirit, thank you for my help. Thank you for my help, Spirit, thank you for my help. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant help. My radiant, my radiant, my radiant health, my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. Thank you for my life, Spirit, thank you for my life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life. My glorious, my glorious, my glorious life to the top. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Oh, thank you.
Woo. Yes, let's give her a hand, bravo. Thank you for this day. You know, that's the way we should start every day, right? In gratitude. Thank you for this day. This is a perfect day. And again, I'm so glad you're here, Reverend Suzanne, speaking to you live from Auburn, California. So we'll start our service today with our vision and value statement. So if you know this, please join me. We are a community that values and supports each other in our spiritual awakening. We are committed to practical spirituality for everyday living. All of our activities are grounded in faith, nurtured with love, and guided by spirit. Ah, yes. And so let's take that into a spiritual mind treatment that I'm so grateful to be able to do for you today. I turn within to the infinite indwelling spirit within me, Almighty God within me, that which is truth within me. I call that truth forward so that I may rise in my awareness of the truth of the one power, one presence, one infinite intelligence in and through everything, called God, Spirit, Source, Creator, Divine, One, whatever name you call yours forth. into your heart. God omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. Yes. And so I breathe in this very essence of the divine into my being, knowing that it fills me with joy, unity, wholeness, peace, love, compassion. And as it is true for me, it is true for each of you, that we are all part of this expression of God, of the divine creator. And so I bless our time today together, knowing that something in the service, whether it's the music or the words or the quiet, that you receive a gift and know that you are a gift by being with us. And so I bless our time, knowing it is good. And I'm so grateful to know this truth, that something wonderful is happening in our consciousness right now. And so we relax, we let go, and we just let it be so. And join me in saying, and so it is. Always feels good to ground in prayer, doesn't it? So now's the time of our guided meditation. And I've been teaching a class for the last 5 weeks called Practical Mysticism. And one of the books we're using is Entering the Castle by Carolyn Mace. And it's finding the inner path to God and your soul purpose. And it's based on the work of Saint Teresa of Avila, who was a 16th century saint and had quite an experience of going through the mansions of her soul, as she called them. So I wanted to use this book today, both in my talk and for the meditation, for you to experience it. So I invite you to turn within, take a deep breath with me, and settle into this perfect moment of now, letting go of whatever came before, and opening, relaxing, and becoming present. The sound of water was spiritual sweetness or grace itself for Saint Teresa. I invite you to imagine the sound of mystical water running within your soul. Breathe. And imagine it running through your entire body, beginning at the top of your head and flowing through your torso, down your arms and legs, and out the bottoms of your feet. Imagine this crystal clear, sparkling, mystical water flushing out all debris from your body, cleansing you of any physical discomfort, pain, upset. And now imagine this crystal clear, sparkling, mystical water flushing out any debris from your mind and your emotions. Any fear, worry, sadness, confusion. Breathe and allow that mystical water to cleanse you. Yes. And now breathe in a wonderful sensation of mystical lightness as you breathe into your cosmic heart. And as you have been cleansed, feel that lightness lift you up. And imagine that you are lifting away from your physical form and you're rising above with your breath, And imagine you can view the planet Earth from space. Out among the stars and the planets. And you can see Earth so tiny, spinning, with a limitless universe of billions of stars and planets. Open yourself to feeling a mystical love from your heart. Mystical love is a gift of grace. Take a breath. Be open, receptive to receive this mystical love. And now see the earth becoming larger again. See your heart filling with love of the earth and all within it. Imagine your heart becoming as big as the planet. Gradually surround the planet and all humanity with your mystical heart. Yes. And now for a moment, send your heart and soul on a walkabout. Walk about each nation on the planet. Visit each nation and allow your heart to radiate mystical love. Breathe and pray that love into that country and into the faces of everyone you meet there. During your walkabout, feel your connection to all of humanity. Yes, we are all connected to the One. And we breathe. We breathe into that cosmic heart, that mystical love for everyone. And we gently return to this moment, to your home or wherever you are, and feel your oneness of the sacred and the whole of humanity. And take a deeper breath. Feel your body. Feel yourself in your chair. And with a smile on your heart and on your lips, gently open your eyes and be present.
Joy gratitude. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. In stillness, may I walk in forgiveness. May I walk in loving kindness. May I walk, may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk, 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 may I walk in peace. May I walk in peace. May I walk in peace.
Thank you. Beautiful. Thank you, Diana. May I walk in peace. Wow. Yes, may we all walk in peace. And hello again, Reverend Suzanne here. I'm grateful to know that you are watching, and this is being recorded. So if you're not able to catch it right now, we're getting some information from Facebook, but I'm going to just keep going. This month's theme, the month of May, for Centers for Spiritual Living is Listen to Your Heart. Listen to your heart. And my talk today is entitled Your Sacred Calling, the great work of your life, your dance. Ah, we all have an inner dance, whether you believe it or not. We all have a calling. Have you ever been invited onto a dance floor and you kind of were like, oh no, no thank you. I have 2 left feet, I'm not rhythmic, I'm embarrassed, I can't do it. Well, you know, life is a dance, I believe. Life has its twirls ups and its drops down. It has its dips and its steadiness. And when we learn to move and dance with life and flow, things can become a little bit maybe easier. And we also have the most amazing dance partner that I'll talk about later. I'll tell you about that later. So I'd like to ask you a couple questions. First of all, do you believe there's a unique calling for your life? A unique purpose? And did you know that there's a divine spark within you that fully wants to be expressed as you? The founder of Science of Mind, Dr. Ernest Holmes, says, the insistent and universal desire for self-expression is the divine urge within us, even God himself, tapping at the wall of our heart, urging us onto a fuller life. We each have come into being so that that divine spark, that fire, that creativity, that impulse may be consciously expressed. And we, each of us, me and you, are uniquely poised to express our special gift, talent, strength, that only we can. It's the call of life itself. It's the dance of life itself, seeking to express itself in a new way, through you, as you. So get out on that dance floor. What is calling you in your life right now? What is calling you? What would you love? Think about that. What would you love? And I always tell my clients, we don't have to know how to make something happen. We have to make it welcome. We have to make it welcome. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Jung said, your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. So I have a beautiful rose today from our property, and I would like you to consider how a rose seed blossoms into a rose. I believe we can all agree that it doesn't need to struggle or strive to become what it inherently already is, because everything that a rose seed needs to become a rose is already within it. Given the right soil, a little water, some sunlight, its natural beauty will inevitably emerge. The seed of a rose. And just like the rose seed, there's something unique within you, within each of you. A calling, a purpose, a dance, a vision of what your life wants to be, what it wants to emerge as. And maybe you're already doing it. Bravo. It's interesting to note that in floral shops, the roses that won't open, that are closed tight, are called bullets. And they are discarded. They're thrown out because they will never bloom. They have turned in on themselves so tightly that they cannot release their fragrance. Oh, think about that. Are we so tightly wound that we don't bloom? We always are a choice. And I believe it takes a conscious awareness, a breath, to connect us to that true center of ourselves that allows us to flower and blossom in our own perfect, unique way. So are you willing to live life from a place of pure inspiration and allow your greatest life to emerge through you? Yeah. And it doesn't matter your age, your education, your background, your employment or unemployment, you're retired. What's calling you? What's calling you? Dr. Michael Beckwith says, we always begin with principle. And the principle is you are one with the power, the presence, and the love of God. There's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing missing in you. You came with everything, loaded and coated. You came with everything, and you have come to participate with it so that you can set it free as your life, your unfolding destiny. So I invite you to imagine you're in our sanctuary, or maybe if you're with other people, turn to the person next to you and introduce yourself, your name, and introduce yourself as a genius. Ready? Go. Hi, I'm Reverend Suzanne. I'm a genius. Good, did you do it? And just notice, did that feel uncomfortable? Did it feel silly? Did it feel like, what? So we're going to try it again. You get a take two. Take a breath. You're going to look someone in the eye. I'm going to look you in the eye. And introduce yourself as a genius. Begin. Hi, I'm Reverend Suzanne. And I'm a genius. Who are you? I love that. That's a Dr. Joe Dispenza special. And when I learned that, he recommended that you start every day that way, claiming that genius within you. And so when I do my prayer work in the morning, I stand up, I open my arms wide, and I say, what creative genius will I be today? How can I serve? And when I do that, it opens up to a possibility of something greater that I have no idea about. So I invite you to claim that genius, which we're going to talk about in a little while. So, geniuses, how many of you actually believe in the idea that the way you think has an effect on your life? Isn't that what we teach here? Change your thinking, change your life. So, if you believe that, did you wake up this morning and consciously create a future? Your future. Oh, I could have done that, couldn't I? To change, to truly change, we have to think greater than our circumstance and situation, right? We have to rise above in consciousness to a greater vision of what's possible. And every wise person in history knew this. And neuroscience says it's possible to think and feel so much about your future in an elevated way that your brain will change to look like the future event has already happened. Woo! So can we hold the vision of a solution to what we're experiencing in our world right now? Consciousness creates. Hold the vision of a greater solution than we even can imagine. What if we all did that? So we can answer the call, our own calling from within, but we have to be willing to do something. We have to be willing to move out of our comfort zone. Have you ever heard of the comfort zone? Oh yeah, it's so comfortable. And there's nothing wrong with the comfort zone. It's not bad. But the results that we have in our life will be reflected from who we think we are or what we think we can accomplish. That's the way the law works. If we think we're really good at something or we think we're not good at something, the law will reflect that. So the comfort zone creates kind of a boundary or a limit. But outside of our comfort zone, I want you to imagine that there's a doorway. And that doorway says, possibility. What is possible? So if we stay in our comfort zone all the time, we're never going to get to that place. It doesn't uncover our sacred work, our calling, our uniqueness, if we stay there. So are you currently doing what you love and loving what you're doing? Think about that. Are you currently doing what you love and loving what you're doing? And if not, why? Take a breath. Take a breath. What would you love? What would you love? What do you need to release to get there? Fear, judgment, I'm not good enough, who am I to do this? And what do you need to embrace? Yeah. Ernest Holmes said also, you need not ask what others have done or how they have done it. Be yourself and express life as you find it. Never imitate. Trust the self and find the self in God and God in the self. It takes a leap of faith, doesn't it, to move out of our comfort zone? Well, there happens to be a book called The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. And in this book, he talks about these different zones of competence. And he goes to the zone of genius, which we talked about earlier. And he talks about how we have to move out of our comfort zone to claim the zone of genius, which is your unique power. It's a one-of-a-kind quality that only you bring to your life and to your work and lets you do certain things better than almost anybody else. It's using your full potential as you were designed to be. And what if we already carry, each of us already carry the genius gene within us, and we just haven't set it free? So in this book, The Big Leap, there are 4 zones of expression. Number 1, the zone of incompetence, where he says there are activities that you're not really good at. Most people do it better. The second zone is the zone of competence, where your activities that you do, you're competent at, but others can do them just as well, or maybe even better. The third zone is the zone of excellence. Those are activities you do extremely well and you might make a good living at. You're highly skilled at it. And not many people do it better, he says. And this zone can be very seductive. It's easy to stay in there. But then he says, if you can rise a little bit above that to the zone of genius, those are a set of activities that are uniquely suited to you. Again, nobody does it quite like you. Time feels different. You're engaged, you're fulfilled. You lose all sense of comparison or separation and effort. This zone of genius liberates and expresses your divine genius. Wow. How exciting is that? And I do believe that within each of us there is that divine urge, that sacred calling, that dance that wants to come out in a bigger, better way. So what if you committed to uncovering your zone of genius and taking a leap of faith out of your comfort zone? What would that feel like? What would that look like? And if that's scary, if that's uncomfortable, if that's frightening, I invite you to work with a practitioner or a coach, a life coach. That's why I love being a life coach and a spiritual counselor. I support people all the time, moving from what is to what's possible, to move those seeds of doubt and fear. Just like the rose seed blossoms, well, we want to get rid of those seeds that aren't going to help you blossom. And then you move from a question mark to an exclamation point in your life. And I absolutely love seeing the transformation in my clients. And I know that my minister's heart and my minister's consciousness is the backbone and the spirit of everything I do. That's my genius. And I'm so grateful for it that I've learned to claim it and not be afraid of it. So as I mentioned earlier, I've been working with this book, Entering the Castle, from St. Teresa of Avila. Carolyn Mace talks about this very thing, about opening to our light. And I'm going to share some things with you. She says, all mystics discovered profound inner resources of the soul as they grew in their trust of God. Yet people fear their lives will change if they really follow their passions. Soul passions are a powerful grace. Knowing that you have such a force within you begs the question, how can you not release your light? How can you not release your light? She goes on to say, the capacity to see goodness in another person reflects a light in your soul, as does the capacity to be compassionate, generous, understanding, and gentle. What light do you hold in your soul? Your particular light, she says, is your charisma. And a charisma is a type of grace unique to every person that embodies his or her spiritual essence. Name your light. What is the essence of the grace that is you? Take a breath. Your charisma directs your life path, so you need to know what it is. Life moves through passages that can be confusing and difficult and painful, or outrageously abundant, lavish, and happy. It's that dance. You can lose yourself to achieving abundance as easily as you can to starvation. Oh. Wow. You can rely on your charisma, your essential self, to guide you, however. You know when you have compromised yourself just a bit too much and when you're not the real you. Follow your light, your charisma, and you will inevitably find your soul. Yes, follow our light, follow our sacred calling. And we are all needed in times such as these, I believe. In times such as these, we are all needed. So she goes on to talk about a real story of a woman named Karen and how Karen turned her ordinary skill into a cosmic one. She was a former nurse, Karen, who loved to sing but did not have a very beautiful voice. She was at the hospital visiting her daughter, who had just given birth to her first grandchild, when she was quite taken by a desire to walk around the hospital floor and check out the other babies. She came upon a very young woman by herself with her newborn, obviously terrified of being a new mom. The woman was panicking because she could not calm her infant and was convincing herself that her baby was not bonding to her. Karen walked into the room and asked if she could help. Immediately, the young mother turned over her infant to her, saying, "He won't stop crying. He hates me." "Oh, he doesn't hate you," said Karen. "He's just trying to get his bearings. He just got here. This is a big world to get used to," she told her, while she, Karen, a well-seasoned mother-turned-grandmother, began to rock the baby and sing a lullaby. The baby relaxed into the soothing rhythm of her voice and gentle rocking. "Does the singing work?" asked the young mother. "Oh, I guess it must," Karen laughed. But something about that experience stayed with Karen, and months later she came back to the hospital to check out the nursery again and to see if the head nurse needed any new nurses to work with the newborns. Well, by coincidence, this hospital was desperate for nurses. She started the next week in the nursery, holding emergency care infants and singing to them. Karen told the story. I realized as soon as I walked into that nursery that I was called by God to be there, and that I was meant to use my voice to channel grace into these newborns. They find my voice soothing and healing and perhaps grounding. Karen received God in her way and in God's way. She was not looking for an experience of God. God came calling for her. At one time, she'd had fantasies about a singing career, but when the time was right, her very ordinary voice became a channel for some very extraordinary cosmic grace. What a beautiful story. What is in you that's waiting to come out that you may think is something very simple? A few years ago, a friend gave me this message from a very famous author known as Anonymous. So I can't say who turned me on to this, but it was Anonymous. And it is the word guidance. And if you look at the word, you see the word dance at the end. God, you and I dance. That's what this person found. And when I saw that, I was inspired. You know, when two people try to lead a dance, it's pretty awkward, right? You're falling over each other, it feels jerky, it's not in the flow. But when one person takes the lead, they give the partner a gentle nudge, maybe to the back, or they tip them in the right direction, lean in the right direction, and the dance goes very smoothly. What would it feel like to have the divine as your partner, your dance partner? And that we move in unison with the divine, with God, in this dance. And it takes a willingness and a surrender, I believe. Trusting and having faith, taking that leap. God, you and I dance. So let's affirm today. Repeat after me if you like. Today I answer the call to discover, liberate, and express my divine genius. Again, today I answer the call to liberate and express and discover my divine genius. Yes. So I'll close my talk today with a beautiful poem by Ernest Holmes. And Ernest Holmes was quite a mystic himself. And in the Science of Mind textbook, it can be very heady and intellectual, but there's parts of it that are so poetic and beautiful. It's a beautiful balance. His creative genius, very obvious. And this was in the original 1926 edition of the Science of Mind textbook. And it's called The Call. This I saw, or something greater. I'm going to start again. This I saw, or else some greater presence made it known to thee. The universe is filled with life, the earth, the sky, the sea, and teemed with intelligence, with majesty and might. Deep within me some subtle inner sight beholds and sees, comprehends and knows the all. No fears, no falters, but answers the divine call. To be as one beyond the bonds of time and space, to overcome the bondage of human race, and to leap with trust, undaunted and free, into the depths of that infinite sea, whose waters, calm, are ready to receive those who in simple faith believe. Oh, I love that poem. Maybe I'll put that on our website. So I invite Diana up to play her song, and just to remind us of what is the great work of your life. What is your calling? Hopefully you've been inspired today to open to that calling. And to remember that you have a great dance partner in the divine. And so let's welcome Diana to sing for us.
All right, I'm going to do a song called Work of Heart by Mr. David Alt.
You are a work of art. A masterpiece. What a beautiful, beautiful song. That was the talk. You are, we've heard that before, and maybe not such a good way, a work of art. But you are, all of you, and I'm so grateful to know that. And I look forward to having you share with what inspiration you came up with from our talk today, from my talk today, in terms of like, I've always wanted to do this, and now I feel like I can maybe step out of my comfort zone and take that leap of faith and move into your zone of genius. Yeah, why not? So now is the time of our conscious giving. So Tony will be putting up on the feed there our PayPal, and you can also send us checks. We have some checks in here, I see. And I invite you to just put your hand over your heart with whatever way you're giving. And let's just take a breath and such gratitude and appreciation. God is my source, my substance and my supply. I am blessed, and so it is. Amen. And so I bless these gifts knowing that they do really good work in our community. We have many local charities and nonprofits that we support. And so I'm grateful for your donations. Thank you. All righty then, I think we're about done. We're going to do a closing song, so I invite everybody to stand up. And we're going to do a little move, just kind of shake off and enjoy Diana's final song, which is called
Grateful.
Perfect. Grateful. Thank you all. Let's sing it on. Hopefully you're seeing this and have a beautiful week and let your light shine. Let your calling come out, bloom, and flower. We miss you. We're going to see you soon, I'm very sure. And thank you again for joining us. Namaste.